Samsung got too comfortable, or you could say they are playing it safe because why not? Now I've had the Galaxy Z Fold6 for about a month, and as someone coming from a Fold 4, I have a thing or two to say, or maybe three. It's been almost 2 months since the launch of Samsung's latest foldables, and the hype has pretty much dialed down. I picked up the navy version on pre-order here in Nigeria, and I have been using it for over a month. There's probably nothing new I can tell you about the Galaxy Z Fold6 that you've not already seen from the tons of reviews out there, but you might benefit from hearing my perspective as someone who buys the foldables not just for review but to actually use it as a daily driver. I used the Z Fold 4 since launch up until the release of the Fold 6. Yes, I skipped the Fold 5, and this one served me quite well for the most part, at least until it developed a fault out of the blue just few days after I unpacked. The display developed an issue, and few days later a software update just bricked the phone. It also developed this sound around the hinge. I hope you can hear that. It cost me a lot to fix and it's all good now, but it brings to question the durability of foldables over a long period of use. I've seen multiple users complain of similar issues, including with the Fold 5. But the focus here is the Fold 6, which I can't argue has improved a lot when it comes to build quality compared to the Fold 4. So maybe, just maybe, this one won't have the same issues. For one, it now has dust resistance rating, it folds close without gaps, and the hinge is better. The overall design is also now much more refined. You could say these are enough to upgrade from say 4 to 6, but maybe not enough for the Fold 5. I also love the matte finish on the frame and the hinge, which is much better than the glossy finish we had here. The ever so slight improvement to the external display size makes a lot of difference for me. It just looks better, especially with the symmetry. On the hands, however, it feels a little sharp around the edges, especially if you're left-handed. It digs into your palm. This is actually sharp. Thankfully, the S Pen case is not as bulky as the one we got on the Fold 4, so it complements the device well without adding much to its size. Makes it easier to carry in pockets even with the pen. What we had on the Fold 4 was quite bulky, especially when you have to take the pen with it. So this is much welcome development. The Fold 6 is also significantly lighter, such that with the case added, it's only a few grams heavier than the Fold 4. Just about 279 grams. For the Fold 4, you can see it's actually pretty close without the case. Now, this case makes it more comfortable to the hands and you don't feel those sharp edges. I feel the grey case complements the navy phone better than the navy case, but that might just be personal preference. But yeah, I got two. I mean, this looks great, but that's just personal preference. I chose the navy version because it looks great, and I just think the grey one is too common. Now, one thing Samsung did with their foldables this year was to increase the price by $100. I still cannot find justification for that increase, especially since we did not get titanium build, the cameras are still the same as the Fold 4, battery size is still the same. Maybe it's the increased cost of production, who knows. Now, using it so far aside design, I can't really say there's anything major that differentiates it from the Fold 5 or even the Fold 4, particularly when it comes to features and software. The design is definitely different and you can tell that much from just looking at it, but when you start operating the phone, it feels the same for the most part. Just the hands-on feel is different. And you could say the new AI features, but these are likely to come even all the way to the Fold 4. It already has Galaxy AI. But does that mean this is not a worthy upgrade from, say, a Fold 4? Well, for me it is. Those minor changes to the design and the build quality is enough, and if you live in a region where the trading deals are good, it's a no-brainer. But if you use a Fold 4 and it's working fine, and you're not sure if you need to upgrade, you should probably wait for the next generation. Galaxy AI on here is great with all the new features, but if I'm being honest, the novelty of the features like AI sketch to image wears off pretty fast. Personally, I have not had a use case for it, but that doesn't mean it's useless. You never know when you need to generate something on a photo to make it more complete. I wanted a house there, but I guess what I drew looks more like a shirt. And it looks pretty realistic, so you never know when you need it. Now, the Galaxy AI features I've used the most is circle to search, not just to search stuff, but more to copy text from images or pretty much anywhere. I also love the improvements to Smart Select and how easy it is to add them to notes, plus you can now just copy them to clipboard without having to save them to your gallery. Another AI feature I think is very practical is the composer feature, but you need to be using the Samsung default keyboard to be able to use that. The writing tools can come in handy to improve your conversations with people or in professional emails. Now there are also other useful features like Object Eraser, which works really well. Then Call Assist, which may be hit or miss, but pretty useful if you have a use case for it. There is also Transcript Assist to summarize those recordings of maybe your meetings. There's Note Assist, and Gemini will still be coming with all of its features from Google. But I'm not here to tell you about all of Galaxy AI and its features. We're looking at the Z Fold6 and whether it's a worthy device, especially when compared to the previous generation foldables and what the competition has to offer. Which brings us to why I said Samsung got comfortable. There's no major competition when it comes to foldables and global availability. Take Africa for example. The only other competition is Tecno at the moment, and while their Fold is impressive and significantly more affordable, they are still new to the game. The Pixel Fold is not globally available, nor is the OnePlus Open, nor are the ones from Oppo, Honor or Huawei. So Samsung is in sort of a comfortable position to play it safe, especially with hardware. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means consistency for the most part. But it might feel a little stagnated for the enthusiasts who want more, like an inbuilt S Pen slot, S Pen support for the external display, and much better camera hardware. But you can't take away the fact that their software remains among the best you can find on foldables, especially when it comes to multitasking, also offering 7 years of updates. It would be nice to have some of the tablet DeX features too, especially that new DeX mode. It also currently offers better IP rating for water and dust resistant compared to the rest, also with the S Pen support. With that said, the Fold6 is solid in its own right, but it could be so much more. What about the crease? It is slightly improved, but it's still there. Not the best when compared to the competition, but I honestly don't have a problem with it. It's a screen that folds, the crease will likely always be there to some extent. But the most important thing to note for someone that actually uses it day to day is that until someone mentions it, you'll probably not notice it's even there. There's barely any use case that requires your hands to go all the way to the center, unless you're using the S Pen a lot, but even with that, it's not bothersome. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6 is not lacking in the processor department. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 gives you more than enough power to run whatever you wish, even if you choose to game with it. Performance when it comes to day-to-day use is not one area you are going to find the Fold6 lacking. But let's talk about those cameras. As mentioned earlier, they've remained the same across 3 generations, so the expectations for improvement here is minimal at best, or mostly with image processing. I'll put images from the Fold 4 and 6 side by side without labeling them. See if you can tell which is the Fold 6. Personally, I feel people that go for the tablet style foldables are more business or work focused, so they are buying it mostly for the productivity that it offers. My point is, I don't think they take photos that much. At least that's how I've used my Fold 4 over 2 years. But that does not mean it shouldn't have good cameras, and it does. Mostly, you only see a problem when you consider what it costs and what the competition offers. But it gets the job done quite well. I'll not bother talking about the under-display selfie camera. It's not great, and that's established. Anyone that is using this for selfies kind of deserve the quality they get. You have a proper selfie camera to use, and even the rare one works great for selfies, so there's no reason you should be using the worst camera on the phone for selfies. That aside, the fact that Samsung has not put their best hardware here only means the Fold6 still doesn't have what it takes to be the perfect note device. Pretty sure I'm not the only one that wants that. In the battery department, while the capacity has remained the same since the Fold 4, it's better optimized. A full charge gets me about 7 hours of screen on time and sometimes a little more. Now I've seen others reporting getting up to 8 hours, which is great, and I guess it also depends on your usage. The Galaxy Z Fold6 is a solid device from Samsung, but as I said earlier, it could be so much more. I'm satisfied with the slight improvements to the design and the build quality, especially coming from the Fold 4. But as someone that is waiting for the Fold to reach that point where it eventually replaces the Ultra phone for me, there's still so much more that can be done. I'd like to see S Pen support on the external display and much better cameras. Some might desire an inbuilt slot for the pen and much wider external display, but I think that might drastically change the design and the aspect ratio of the internal display, which actually won't be bad. We've seen other foldables. But let's wait to see what Samsung does for the next generation, or that slimmer version that was rumored. That's all from me.